My name is Jessica. I'm not really sure where to start. I was raised by my mother in an emotionally, mentally, physically, and sexually abused home. I was never hugged or told I was loved. I grew up hearing and believing that I was a mistake, worthless, and a waste of space. I was raised around drugs and alcohol. I was in and out of the foster homes and homeless shelters, living on the streets and eating from dumpsters. I tried attending church, but they told me I was going to hell, so I stopped going. I tried several times to end my life. It's a miracle I'm still alive. When I finally turned 18, I didn't know who I was. I would go weeks without eating, just hoping people would feel sorry for me. I wanted the love that I never had before. November 30th, 2016, I was living in my car. I had texted my life coach and told her I wanted to die. She called and called, but I didn't answer. I cried and cried. I finally answered the phone. With the help of my life coach, my life began to change. I had a good job and was taking classes to become a certified driver. I failed my CDL test a couple of times and gave up. I believed that I was a failure. Another attempt on my own life landed me in the hospital. I was discharged after 16 days, and I went to the women's shelter in Dayton. I was still struggling with suicidal thoughts, but a couple of women at the shelter kept inviting me to go to church. I refused and refused some more. But eventually I gave in. I went with them to a place called The Point, which is a campus of Williamsburg Church. I expected it to be like the others, to hear that I was going to hell. But wow, was I wrong. I was welcomed with open arms. I got smiles, I got a hug, and it just felt like I belonged. I couldn't shake the suicidal thoughts, but I kept going back to The Point, and kept going back, and kept going back some more. On September 24th, 2017, I broke down and asked Jesus to come into my life. I was baptized a few months later, and in 2018, I became a member of Williamsburg Church. That summer, the suicidal thoughts completely stopped. Exactly 1 year after I asked Jesus into my life, I moved out of the shelter and into my first apartment. The church connected me with New Path, who helped fill my apartment with furniture and my fridge with food. I found out my employer matched donations to nonprofit organizations, so I decided to give $50 out of my weekly paycheck to the food pantry at The Point. Now between jobs, I found joy in generosity. I donate food and personal items when possible, and I have started collecting clothing in my apartment for anyone who may be in need. I serve on the hospitality team at The Point. I have brought coworkers to Jesus. I have helped complete strangers downtown to Jesus. God has spoken to me and led me down alleys to people who have overdosed, and I pray over them until paramedics arrive. I finally know that it was God who kept jamming the chamber of all my suicide attempts. God isn't done with me yet. And until God is, you can find me right here with my new family at The Point.